Was this the most heartbreaking moment in recent Jazz history? Imagine this. Collin Sexton, one of the Jazz's rising stars, hits what should have been the game-winning shot against the Lakers. The crowd is roaring, the bench is on their feet, and it looks like the Jazz are about to pull off an unforgettable victory. But then, everything changes. A whistle blows, a timeout is called, and the shot doesn't count. What happened next left fans stunned and has sparked a debate across the basketball world. Let's break it all down. It all started in the final seconds of the game. The Jazz were trailing by just 1 point. With time ticking down, Collin Sexton took matters into his own hands. His determination was clear as he raced down the court, evading defenders with speed and precision. The Lakers' defense scrambled to stop him, but it was too late. Sexton's layup hit the backboard and fell through the net. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Fans in the arena erupted into cheers. The commentators were already calling it the game winner. Sexton was mobbed by his teammates. It was the kind of heroic play that players dream about. But then, out of nowhere, the referee's whistle cut through the noise. The Jazz coach, Will Hardy, had called a timeout just before the shot went up. What was Hardy thinking? That's the question everyone was asking. In those final moments, Hardy made a split-second decision to call timeout, presumably to draw up a final play. But in doing so, he inadvertently nullified Sexton's incredible shot. Instead of celebrating, the Jazz were forced to regroup. Critics argue that Hardy's decision showed a lack of trust in his players. Sexton had already proven he could deliver under pressure, so why stop the play? On the other hand, some analysts believe Hardy was trying to ensure the team had a controlled possession to secure the win. It's a debate that highlights the fine line coaches walk between strategy and instinct. The impact on the players was immediate. Collin Sexton, usually composed and focused, couldn't hide his frustration. As he walked back to the bench, his expression said it all: pure disbelief. He didn't confront Hardy, but the tension was palpable. His teammates looked equally stunned. On the bench, some players exchanged glances, while others stared blankly at the court. It was clear that the team's momentum had been completely disrupted. Sexton later downplayed the moment in post-game interviews, calling it just one of those things. But insiders suggest that the frustration ran much deeper. For a player like Sexton, who thrives on clutch moments, this was a tough pill to swallow. As expected, the reaction from fans and media was explosive. Social media lit up with criticism of Hardy's decision. Comments ranged from disbelief to outright anger, with some fans even calling for Hardy to resign. "You don't kill a player's momentum like that," one fan tweeted. Another wrote, "Hardy just robbed Sexton of his moment." The story quickly gained traction on sports networks. Analysts debated the decision on talk shows, with some defending Hardy's intentions but most criticizing the execution. Even rival players chimed in, with some expressing sympathy for Sexton. Unfortunately for the Jazz, the timeout didn't lead to the outcome Hardy had hoped for. When play resumed, the Lakers tightened their defense, denying the Jazz any good looks at the basket. On the other end, the Lakers capitalized on the confusion and scored, ultimately securing a 1-point victory. What could have been a defining moment for the Jazz turned into a painful loss, and the team walked off the court visibly dejected. This isn't the first time a timeout has backfired spectacularly. Fans of basketball history might recall Chris Webber's infamous timeout call in the 1993 NCAA championship, which cost his team the title. While Hardy's decision wasn't quite as dramatic, it still ranks among the most questionable coaching calls in recent memory. These moments stick with fans and players for years, often becoming defining moments in a team's narrative. So, what does this mean for the Jazz moving forward? For starters, the trust between Hardy and his players may have taken a hit. Moments like these can linger, affecting team chemistry and morale. There's also the question of how Hardy will handle similar situations in the future. Will he be more hesitant to call timeouts, or will he double down on his approach? As for Collin Sexton, this moment could either fuel his drive to prove himself or weigh on him as a missed opportunity. The Jazz have had their share of ups and downs this season, but this game might just be the turning point, for better or worse. In the end, this wasn't just a game, it was a lesson in the unpredictability of sports. One decision, one moment, can change everything. For the Jazz, this loss will sting for a long time. For Collin Sexton, it's a reminder of how quickly the tide can turn. But what do you think? Should coaches trust their players more in high-pressure moments, or are timeouts a necessary part of the game? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.